Guys, Bitcoin has finally dropped and the whole altcoin market was tanking together. We were expecting this scenario for the last 10 days. Now it finally happened. Now it's time to look at what's going to happen next. If you missed your chance yesterday to buy cheap, I got you. There might be another chance. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again on that Tuesday today. Before I jump here into the charts, I just want to tell you something really, really funny because I was up until late, saw not really the market tanking as much as it did, so I was actually asleep. But when I woke up, I was thinking it's Saturday. Don't ask me why, but when I woke up, I was feeling like it's Saturday. And I was like, oh, nothing will happen, you know, so I go downstairs and then I open my phone and then I saw the carnage that happened and that we got here over the last 24 hours, almost $1.6 billion worth of positions liquidated in the market. So now imagine how many people's portfolios got completely wiped out and they will never come back into this bull market because they were giga long. Here, almost $1.4 billion worth of longs were liquidated. And I have to mention, this was the biggest liquidation in the market ever. We never had such a huge liquidation in the crypto market, and it was the highest since 2021. So last time that we saw something almost similar was in 2021, and I think that was also close to the end actually of the bull run, not just at the early stages of the bull run. So now let's have a look at the DXY really quick. So the DXY is coming back up here. Not surprising with a move like that we saw in Bitcoin. That also the DXY is coming back up, putting more pressure on Bitcoin to the downside. I still believe that here that level is going to hold and that we just reject from there and from there then continue the downwards trajectory. When we look at Bitcoin, I just want to pull up the right Bitcoin chart. So here on the weekly chart, everything is still absolutely fine here. I actually believe that we will not touch the the 1.618 level. With yesterday's move, when I look at it, it shows actually there is more strength in Bitcoin than what I expected. So, and I think the limit orders that we had down here, we can partially at least take them off the table and put them into other levels for Bitcoin coming one more time to the downside. So, and here on the 12-hourly chart, you see here once again that VPVR cluster that I spoke yesterday about has held as support. We came all the way to the bottom and from there we bounced back to the upside. Also the EMA ribbon has held. We only came here in that big red candle almost to the bottom of it. The indicators have now completely bottomed out. The RSI is already turning around, giving you an indication that we are in the short term now go back up. But the most important level that Bitcoin needs to close above today is $97,400 to $98,000, and I'm going to show you here on that 4-hourly chart. Not on this one. Actually, can I do this on this one? Yes, this one is also fine. I can also do this on this one, but the next one will be even better for that. So here we have now in the short term lost that green zone here. Remember, I spoke about this yesterday. I said lose this, and we're gonna go really quick to the downside. I also told you that on the way to the downside, that initially that blue zone will not hold, and it did not hold because we dropped below that, but we got bought up from the almost $94,000 level. So, and that was something that I did not expect, that when we get through that order block here, that the bounce will come from this specific level here. So I was expecting that we go a little bit lower, not as low as this low here, and still put it in a higher low, but still a little bit lower. So and that was not the case, which is also fine, you know. So it's also fine because you should have been prepared for that. I was shouting it from the roofs for the 12 days or something. That I said this drop is coming. this drop can be ignored because altcoins did not do anything, and that there will be another drop. And this will be the one that we need to pay attention to. And learn and behold, this is exactly what we have seen yesterday. So now, oh, let me actually go back here. Oh, what? Shit, what happened now? Okay, I know what happened. It's fine. So, as you can see, we are also still respecting the upward sloping trend line of that overall ascending triangle. I just want to mention here again that I warned everybody when we broke out here that I said this is too early within the triangle. We need to get the breakout somewhere around here or somewhere around here. That is the right window to get the breakout. So, and I also told you that when we are breaking out now here, that we will come back down, get a fake out, and then in many bull markets, I have seen this before, that you get a second shakeout, you come back into that ascending triangle, and then you get a real breakout to the upside. So, but here right now, the most important level to reclaim would be that green box here. And even if we only get here slightly into the box today, that's absolutely fine. We are then above $98,000. That will signal continuation back in and around $100,000. But still from there, I would expect that we get one lower leg, slightly below the green box here again, and then we have basically a triple bottom. We have here the low, a higher low, here another higher low, and from there you're gonna shoot then past $100,000, turn $100,000 into support, and get continuation and continuation of the overall bull run. On the MDX algo gradients, also here, I told you guys that when I see the reactor indicator flattening in that way, usually it means that you get a downside wave, which then also results in the price flushing to the downside. This is again exactly what occurred here. The two take profit points up here plus the sell signal were a huge warning sign that I also spoke about. And now we are still holding the golden ratio. So here, in terms of the golden ratio, we need to come above the golden ratio here with a 4-hourly close. And that will give us a continuation signal. And also on the MDX algo gradients, there are still some warning signs on them because we are here now in these turquoise-ish colored candles. So this can still turn into green, where you get one more flush immediately to the downside, most likely back into the underlying support block, the support order block. And from there, get then the continuation straight away. If this is not happening and you get a close above the golden ratio, like I said, they're most likely first here into the weekly open, maybe even a little bit higher than that. Then you come back down here a little bit, and then you move back to the upside, while the reactor indicator is then also here giving you early reversal indications, like over here, you know, with these two dot plots. That's what we are waiting for currently to mark the local bottom here, where we kind of know, okay, we will not go any lower than we have been over here anymore. So this will only happen when you get these two dot plots over here and one down here in a candle. Then you know, okay, that's it. You know, so that's it. That marks the potential low. We will not go lower than that. And then altcoins can have also massive upside again, and we can also take on more risk again in this bull run. So this is what I'm currently waiting for. So on ZoomX, I still have a shit ton of limit orders that were actually not triggered. On my Solana trade, actually a lot limit orders got triggered, so I'm happy about this. And now my entry price is at $238, so I'm, what is this, 5% away, 7% roughly, 7-8% away from my entry point, which is absolutely fine. If we flush one more time to the downside, I still have a lot more limit orders down here. These limit orders, I think I got partially filled on my $201 limit orders on Solana. Let's have a look here. Yes, I got partially filled on them, but not completely. I still have some spillover over here. So I can tell you that this position here really soon will turn into a massive profit. So I'm actually gonna adjust already my take profit level here. So look here, if we go to $381 on Solana, I will reckon $190,000 in profits here almost, which gets me much closer to my $1 million target. So, and this is in one single trade. Again, if you want to trade with me on ZoomX, there is a link in the description below. You still get $45,000 worth of deposit bonuses. And like I said, there is another big campaign coming for you guys and that will be really, really juicy, but you need to have a ZoomX account for that. So make sure that you sign up, especially if you are in a country that restricts you to use leverage, like US, Canada, India, European countries. That is the place to go, guys. Now, on the liquidation levels, here we have taken out the new liquidity they had built after that initial flush here. Come on. So there we go. Wow, that zoomed a lot in. Annoying when this is happening. So, but there we go. So here, so we have flushed out the new liquidity that had built up, where everybody thought here in this initial dump, oh, Bitcoin is done. Bitcoin is done. That's it. So there was the flush. We're not coming back down. They got all washed out yesterday here in that single candle. We still have a little bit of high leverage liquidity here at $89,000, but again, there is a super low probability right now that we are actually getting another flush into that level here. Also, the 200 moving average is way closer now to the price, which makes it again highly unlikely that we are getting a really steep wick here into this, with the 200 moving average coming in here as support. So there is still a chance that we touch like 91. Yeah, like 92,000, so to get another wick down there. But also this chance is decreasing with every 4-hourly candle that we put in, because with every single 4-hourly candle, the 200 moving average is creeping up here into higher price levels. So, and the higher the 200 moving average goes, the more shallow will be then also that next wick in comparison below the 200 moving average. So because imagine if we get a wick, let's say we continue this trajectory and we get another wick over here at current price, but by Thursday. So by Thursday, most likely it will only go to 94 or just touch the 200, so that would be another higher low. Or it goes slightly below here, like 93,700 or something like that, So that, again, would be not the end of the world. I expect at some point a touch of the 200 moving average. That could coincide with marking the local bottom this week, and then it's only upwards and onwards. So then when it comes to the liquidation heat map, you also see here on the heat map, we have taken out all the downside liquidity that has built up over the last 2 weeks. Now there's only upside liquidity left. But trust me, guys, I have seen this many times before. Like I just said earlier, you're gonna get here a move above $100,000 to trap everybody once again and making them believe, oh, this is now, that's the move. We break $100,000. We're not going back anymore. We're not going below $100,000. That's it. So, and then they wash you out one more time, going back into lower levels, and only then, so only then, when many people have lost hope that we can manage to stay above $100,000, that's when they're going to send it. I have seen it so many times with every single psychological level. I've seen it with 1,000, with 2,000, with 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20, 50. Every single time it's the same thing. Every single time they make you believe it's not happening, exactly like many people gave up yesterday and said there is no drop anymore coming, So, and when people screaming the loudest about this, that it's not happening anymore, what happened? You got punished for it. And if you were smart like me, you stayed firm. I did ignore that noise completely. I stayed firm and said, no, I know it's coming. I ignore what everybody else is saying. I know it's happening. We're a couple days away, So, and now I reap the rewards of that. So, and if you had the chance yesterday, then you definitely signed up here on Bybit, deposited just $100, took the $500 airdrop position, set your limit orders on any of these coins here, and now are also already in profit. If not, then like I said, there is a second chance potentially. I'm gonna show you now some altcoins in a moment where you potentially get a second chance, where you buy a little bit higher than where they actually went down yesterday, to take advantage of the next move, because you can only do this in the next 8.5 days. Then the airdrop position is gone, guys. So you deposit $100, claim the airdrop voucher, use the voucher from the rewards hub, and when you set your limit orders for this trade, you keep all the profits that you make out of this trade. And trust me, this can be substantial. So now I go back to my own Bybit account. I gonna warn you guys, when I looked earlier, my 3 biggest positions were underwater, but every new position that I had was actually already in profit. Let's see how it's looking now. I have no idea, so because since I started the stream, I did not look. Okay, so now only 2 remain in profit, but you see here, Injective and Render, they're only slightly underwater. Phantom was in profit, slightly underwater. 1inch, I was actually waiting for that this turns into a positive position. But what I also want to show you here, I did not go crazy on this dip yet. I only went in with $1,000 on each and single one of these new positions here. You can see 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. But I have over $180,000 still in this account. So if you were watching a couple of days ago my stream, you knew that I was close to $200,000 here. Now I have only 152. Why? Because first of all, the Coty trade went from $18,000 worth of margin to now almost $34,400. So there's over $16,000 that were added in margin, which makes a huge difference. In that account, I had to send out $10,000 yesterday, and I got liquidated on my Celestia trade. So because I made a small mistake there, I should have had either a bigger limit order to average down my liquidation price, or a third order on Celestia, and that actually rinsed me out. So I also gonna show it to you guys here. Can I not see all positions? Let me see here. So, and this happens, you know, so it was not a huge washout for me, you know, with Celestia. It happens, you know, so when you have a drop like this, you know, sometimes you lose here $10,000, you know, so okay, I lost $10,000. I knew that most likely on one position that's going to happen to me, you know, so you cannot set everything correctly, you know, so and be 100% perfect. Nobody is, you know, so and I was counting on this, that one position most likely is going to get hit. I did not expect that it will be my Celestia position, but that's fine, you know, so I lost only $10,000 out of $200,000, you know, so again, risk management is everything. I lost 5% out of that Bybit account, you know, so it's fine, you know, so I can stomach that. I still have over $56,000 to buy more dip if I need to, and I have still money sidelined that I can also deploy if that is not enough, you know, to protect my current positions. But I should be fine. I should be fine in these positions. So now, and when we go to the funding rate heat map, also here you see the leverage is completely gone out of the market right now. We are completely back in the green. So I have pulled this already completely to the left side, you know, so in terms of interest, if I pull it back here to maximum 200, so then you see we were just warming up here. So, but if you want to get an accurate picture over the last 30 days, you see here, we were overheated here since the 1st of December. Actually, it started a little bit earlier. It started here at the, to be correct, on the 26th of November was when we really started to heat up funding rates across the board. So we got now a funding rate flush in open interest, which is absolutely normal. Now we are reset. We need a couple of days to settle, and then we're gonna get a massive continuation. Hence why I'm not really worried about that I on some positions underwater. But I want to also show you another account where I had many limit orders on yesterday, exactly at the levels that I had shown. And look at this. Everything is green here. Every single position is green. So, and these are all the trades that I had given yesterday with my phase 1 to 3 plan, you know, so and these are orders and positions that got exactly hit as they should have been according to the plan, and we're gonna talk about this here also in a moment. So now on the RSI heat map over the last 4 hours, also here everything has completely cooled down to the downside. We are here now in oversold territory in the short term for altcoins, but I can tell you here on the 12-hourly chart, some of these altcoins still need to come down a little bit more in terms of the RSI. That does not mean that price-wise they have to come down much lower, you know, so they can also just hold the current level while the RSI is cooling down, you know, so don't expect that we get here huge flushes. But here also on the 24 hours chart, also here you see we are kind of like in neutral with many of these altcoins right now. So also here, a little bit more patience, that the majority of the coins comes here into the weak area. When you have the majority of all these coins here around neutral to weak, and some of them in oversold, then you know, okay, market has completely reset the clock. Now we can get into massive positions if you did not set your limit orders correctly, as I suggested yesterday. Now with the Bitcoin dominance, I have adjusted here a little bit the trajectory because the dominance spiked a little bit higher than what I anticipated, but this is fine. We are coming down now, so this should come down back to like the 56% mark. It can also go a little bit lower, but here's some support, as you can see here from the past. I'm just gonna draw here a line. So here, see that should have acted as resistance on the way up, and it didn't. We just sliced through this directly. So and this should potentially act now as resistance when we want to go lower again. And support should act as support when we try to go lower again. Most likely from here, we get the other spike to the upside. And this will be your last chance to load up on Bitcoin and on altcoins. Again, this will be not as severe as what we have seen. The most violent drop is already over, but this will be your last chance to get some of the altcoins a little bit cheaper than what they are right now. And this is also for me the last chance to add to these positions and crank up a little bit leverage. Because afterwards, this is what's going to happen to the dominance, and there we're gonna make a shit ton of money. On the total free also, this trajectory that I had given you, let me just get it back here so that you see what I changed here. So that was from yesterday. So I took here these lines a little bit away. So see here, the initial move here to the downside was coming exactly into the zone that I spoke about, that we're gonna get here a move into $926 to $984 billion, and that there will be carnage in the altcoin market. So now I have to adjust this a little bit because this came lower in, or let me put it this way, faster to that level than what I anticipated. So now I expect that the next leg will look something like this. Come on. So something like this, where we break above $1 trillion again. Once we do this and we break here into 1.05, 1.07, something like this here within that box here, once we get into that area, people will think, oh, that's it, you know, so we're going to continue to go up. The dump is done. It was short-lived, like in every other bull run, and then they get hammered one last time, you know. So here to 985, maybe just to $1 trillion, somewhere in that range is where we're going to hit, and then you see this scenario playing out, you know. So we bounce here up and down a little bit, and then you get the next leg to the upside. So here with Ethereum, also here we hit all the levels that I was speaking about. I mentioned yesterday there was a small chance that we come here all the way down to the 0.5 level. We did not hit this, but we hit the golden ratio. So if you had limit orders there, congratulations, because you are now already here in like almost 10% profit to the upside currently. If we get a close above the 0.786 level, then you're going to get another attempt here in direction of $4,000. But here again, be careful. That might be just another lower high where you get one more flush here into that green box. That will be then your last chance to get into Ethereum before we then start running potentially into a new all-time high. And this might also play out here in the next 48 to 72 hours really quickly. Now, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, also here, I warned you about this, guys, that when we get closer to this upward sloping trend line, that there is massive resistance, and I would expect on a weekly candle here a rejection. That's also exactly what we are seeing right now. Let's see how this weekly candle is closing. For me personally, it doesn't matter how this weekly candle is looking, because I know the next week's candle will look something like this, and we're gonna break here above that upward sloping trend line. And you have to make sure that you are in Ethereum and many Ethereum beta plays once that is happening, because if you're not in them, you're gonna miss it. And this is Ethereum over $4,100, $4,200, $4,300 when we get into this level here. So you want to be in that, because that's roughly 20% from the current price. For Solana, also here we hit exactly the $201 level. We missed it by like, what is this, 0.05%, you know, so So, but I was pretty bang on with the 201 level on my ZoomX account to have their limit orders, and also telling you guys to buy around the 210, 212 level. Even when it came down here to like 201, you should not have gotten liquidated unless you tried to long here with like 20x or something in that region. You know, everything below 10x is now also already sitting in profit. Here, I just don't like on the daily chart the fact that this candle is still red. I would like to close the current candle in green, and then tomorrow get a nice recovery candle to the upside, and then most likely here, when we get the secondary pullback, that's basically the how to say that, the afterquake. So you know, when there's an earthquake, you always get like another quake, you know, which is less intense than the first one. I don't know the right term for that. But you know what I mean, you know. So and that will be happening most likely here around the golden ratio when you get it, and that will be then also here in Solana the last chance to buy Solana cheap before we are going then into the next golden ratio all the way up here at $332 and potentially into $400 as early as first or second week of January, maybe even earlier than that. So one coin that I actually forgot yesterday to talk about while I had it here on my charts was Lido, because also here I had that scenario completely laid out. I have here on the other account a Lido trade. Let me see if I pull it up like this. And when I saw it, when I ended the stream, I was like, ah, shit, this is one that I actually forgot to show you guys. So here, there you see it. So there's the Lido trade. So here, I had the same plan like with every other coin, you know. So I had stacked my limit orders all the way from here, that green zone, into that green area here, all the way down to, I think, like to $1.65 or something. So it went a little bit lower, but this was actually one of the fastest recovering coins today. So I was lucky that I actually caught this here with a limit order. As long as that green zone is holding here at $1.79 to $1.85, I expect also from here a quick recovery back to the upside. I can tell you when we get drops that Lido is one of the coins that in the short term always was one of the coins that recovered the fastest, you know. So once we get back to like $2.05, $2.60 up here, you're gonna see that we start consolidating for quite a while before we get another leg, you know. So Lido is not one of these coins that comes straight back up and does then something like this, you know. So you get an initial nice move here back to the upside, you know, so to a nice level. Here at $2.13 is still a critical resistance level, so we might go all the way up here for Lido, but then you start consolidating below that until you break that to the upside. So here I would be looking out for $1.98 in the short term. There it climbs to, most likely it's going to roll over from here all the way back down to like $1.87, 88, almost where we are sitting at currently, and then you get the continuation to the upside. So if you want to trade this from here, where we are currently, to like close to $1, you're free to do that, you know. So I have my bags already packed, you know, so, and wait for this to be happening. But the only thing that I'm going to do is that I actually wait that this turns around, and wherever it turns around, I'm gonna add more to that position for continuation to the upside. Now, as you can see here, my phasing plan from 1 to 3, how incredible did this work out for us since I mentioned it to you guys yesterday, you know. So we dipped here almost to the bottom of my AVAX range. So I added here to my position, like I explained to you guys, you know. So I have positions where I just kept adding in these green zones here. We recovered almost all the way back into the first phase here. Now, if you were playing this exactly as I laid it out yesterday, then remember, guys, so this is going to run back to the upside now. Then we'll most likely come back to the bottom here, and then it's going to run, you know. So if you want to add to your position, if you're in this trade here, do it when we come back down here, you know. So if, and that applies to all these coins that I gave you yesterday, if for an unforeseen reason AVAX starts doing stuff like this here, you know, so, and then maybe comes a little bit down, any dip below $50 once we break here above $48 and we go above $50, every dip below $50 is a buying opportunity. That's where you add more to your position, you know, so that's how you do it. And then the last time where you're going to add is if we try to break again $54 and we come down to 52. You know, if you have money left over from buying the dip below 50 and we are not coming back to 50, here around the $52 level, when we try to break 54 and we come back down and then go, that is the last chance where you add to your position to the upside. Now, the other coins, Link is one of the strong ones today here. So also here we got close to the red zone. We dipped a little bit below the 0.5, but did not hit here the golden ratio yet. I don't believe that there's much more downside in Link. So here the best case scenario for Link, if you had orders down here, remember guys, it's not the end of the world, you know, if these orders did not get hit. So what I do in this case is I remove, if they did not get hit at all, I remove half of the money that I had down here. And what I do now is I get limit orders in from here, in the middle, in between both phases, and start layering them again with 3-4 orders all the way down to the 0.5 level. So now if Link turns around one more time here at some point, these limit orders get triggered and we continue to go here to the upside. So, but Link is pretty strong looking here right now. I want to have a look here on the 4-hourly chart quick. But this, yeah, so unless Link breaks here $25, this still looks like that this will potentially one more time turn around, you know, so, and you get another chance to add more to your Link position. Then Telegram overshot actually everything. Here, a picture perfect example why you should have had money on the sideline to buy below phase 3, you know, so here we went below $5. What did I tell you guys? If we get close to $5, that's where I would deploy the rest of my 30%. That is not in the market. So here you had a golden opportunity to do that. Also on my ton trade, I'm up already because I got in somewhere here in average, you know, so average price is somewhere around there. Also here, best case scenario is that we come up here to like $6, $6.70, 17, then roll over again one more time here to $5.83, maybe $5.78, and then you get continuation to the upside, because I want here again to point this out, guys. We were for a long time below $6, as you can see from over here, from summer, you know, where we were below that level. We broke this level here on the way to the upside, so this should not be strong resistance anymore, but it is a key level to retake now and flip this back into massive support, you know. So this might take a couple of days, but I'm confident that once we are flipping here the $6 mark into a massive support, that you get quick expansion back to the upside. So the next one is render. Also, I have a nice render trade. So here you can see we tapped into the 0.6 golden ratio all the way down here. We did not reach completely here the phase 3, but remember guys, I told you buy a little bit here and have then the majority of money down here. Now that was not tapped at all. Here, if we can reclaim $9, $9.16, but not breaking above that level, then you get another chance to buy like at $8.60, $8.40, something like this at the top of that yellow range, and you take the money that was meant for down here and start buying with it here on the way down. So if you see that candles start to look something like this, you start buying below that green box. That's where you start buying to get in with the rest of the money that you normally had allocated down here. And also with the other 20% that were sidelined in that scenario. Then Injective not looking all too healthy, to be fair. So if we lose here $27.71, we are only a couple cents away from that. Then you might risk immediately another run into these lows here. We might not run as low as $25.91. Again, you should have been completely filled here with Injective with that one big candle here to the downside. If you have now your 30% still on the sideline to buy dips, if tomorrow's candle is coming down here again, start buying with that money. You know, so that's what I would do, because then we're gonna start to do something like this here for injective. The next one and the last one is SUI. So also SUI, you know, guys, I had shown it to you yesterday that I opened a SUI position where I started to buy the dip already. And here, this looks really, really strong to me. We only briefly got below the $3.44 mark. We went as low as $3.34, bounced back to the upside. Really strong here, close to $3.90. And also today's candle, quick move here back to the upside. So that just shows you you want to start deploying the other 30% that you have for SUI, because once we are done here with that second move to the downside, which is more shallow than what we saw yesterday, trust me, the turnaround will be quick and we're going back to the upside. So here on Alpha X, you see my position is up almost 20%. All my limit orders got hit yesterday. That was the plan, you know. So now I'm sitting back and relaxed because look at my liquidation price, you know. My liquidation price is a little bit ridiculous, you know. So I'm 30% away from my liquidation price, roughly, you know. So that does not look like that this is anytime soon coming back to these kind of levels. So now let's talk about Casper quick. Casper came back here into that green box. Look here how perfectly we mapped out the plan, what's going to happen here. So also here tomorrow, I expect that we move here all the way up to 16 cents, 0.7. We are like 3% away from that currently, not that much. Then we get another small pullback here to 16 cents, maybe even a little bit lower back into that green box. And then you should have your bags packed, because then we start running into the former all-time high, potentially into a new all-time high, because also the indicators here slowly turning around on the daily chart here. By tomorrow, the RSI should have completely turned around. The stochastic RSI will show early signs of a turnaround. And here DMACD will just bounce off from the signal line with the trend line. So I'm going to have a quick look in the chat. I have like roughly 10 minutes left before I have to go. So let me see here. Let me see. So, okay. So let's continue here. Then Coty. I will be honest, Coty went lower than I expected. So I saw the potential that we come all the way down here into that area. But I am also sometimes a moonboy, guys. You know, I cannot hide from that fact that sometimes I get also caught with moonboy fever, you know. So, and I was thinking, I think here I'm good at like 15 cents 7. You know, I think I'm good. It will not drop lower than that, you know. So, and it flushed all the way down into that area here. So if I would have been smart, I would have had some limit orders down here to average down my entry price. Now I'm waiting actually how high Coty will climb before it turns around one more time. And in that turnaround, wherever it stops there, I'm going to add to my Coty trade to average down my entry to get faster back into profits with that, and also start to de-risk that position, because I'm not really feeling comfortable to having $33,000 in that trade right now. But I know what's going to happen, so I can still sleep at night, you know. So I will not wake up one morning and see this at minus $100,000, you know. So, and almost my account liquidated, you know. So for that simple reason, I can still sleep quite well, you know. So, but of course, when you have so much money on the line, you know, so I just want to de-risk a little bit, you know. So, and then trade this here also past 22 cents here. So the first level that we need to break is 15 cents 0.8. That is here where we currently also have a fair value gap in that 4-hourly candle. The indicators all turning around. The RSI struggling a little bit currently to break that former support level. And if we get further rejected from there in this current 4-hourly candle, it could then turn into short-term resistance, where I don't put too much weight on it, you know. So I believe over the next 24, 48 hours, it will get broken anyway. And then we need to see how high we are climbing, you know, and from where we're going to get the pullback, because it could be that we go as low as here 15 cents 7, but it could be also that we are not going all the way up here to like 19 cents immediately, and then we do something like this, you know, and then go back up. Then for Fetch Fetch is again below the downward sloping trend line here. I adjusted it a little bit based on the past local top here that we had. So we technically never broke that downward sloping trend line. But I believe the next time that we come up here, it's going to break and then it's going to send really, really quickly and violently to the upside. So also here, once we get a daily close above $1.75, I will start building a fetch position. So right now, I'm not getting into this because, again, I want to get a daily close, guys. A daily close, that's what I want to see here at that level. You know, I want to get a daily close above that before I enter that. I don't care if the price tomorrow is at $1.90, at $1.81. It doesn't matter. You know, once I get the daily close above that, that's where I want to open a position. And then I trade this above the break, potentially also into new all-time high. The next one is Rune. So Rune also one of the positions that I'm currently in. So we had a Rune trade in a Telegram group. So everybody should get stopped out in profit because we are below the stop profit that I put in, which is fine. Exactly for that reason we put it there. We are back in that green box here. The green box needs to hold. Let's see what's happening on the 4-hourly chart. Yeah, so here you see why I use the stop profit, because here's an indecision candle and this is always bad, you know. So for Rune, a candle like this is always bad because usually it means that you get a little bit more downside. So we might test here $6.13, maybe even $6 again, you know, so before you get your continuation to the upside. So here I will get ready for a short-term trade with the Telegram group when the time is right to get back into this and trade this then to try to trade this then again into the resistance up here. So here right now I'm not doing anything, you know. So if you are looking to open a position, you could do this around $6.15, but again you have to have money on the sideline to average down, you know. So if this starts breaking down here before it turns back to the upside, because here I would be not so sure that we are not breaking this low here when Rune turns around, because Rune is quite volatile and sensitive to Bitcoin, as I mentioned also yesterday. So here we could put in one more slightly lower low before we then turn back to the upside. The next one is Aptos. So also Aptos, look at this drop here, insane drop. Where was it? No, no, that was another coin. Okay, I'm gonna get in a moment into another coin. So here on Aptos, currently that green support block was basically the saving line for not dropping below $10 for Aptos, because we went here to the low point of $10.31 approximately. So if you would have set up your phases exactly as I explained it on the other coins, you would have gotten here a huge discount on Aptos on the way down. When I go here to the daily chart, you see here today's candle is still not looking good, guys. You know, so this is not looking good. There might be tomorrow another downwards candle. Again, here it does not have to go all the way down to the bottom of today's candle, but most likely we'll get close to it. And this will only be not the case if we start out the candle tomorrow green and we get at least back above $12.31. So that would be like a 4% move. You need a 4% move to the upside in Aptos to be kind of safe, you know, that we are not running into these lows down here anymore, you know. So, but you could start building a position here if you wanted. Just make sure again that you set this up in phases as I explained, you know. So if it drops one more time and it comes down here, that you get filled on the way down and then can ride this back to the upside here into the resistance level of $15.32. And once we are past that, also here we are running into new all-time high, because also here time is running out to get into a position. The indicators are close to the bottom. The RSI is slowly turning around already. So most likely tomorrow will be the last chance to get a good entry on Aptos before this is going back to the upside. Then Celestia, I'm not going to talk about Celestia. I want to show you quick another one, and then I go into two coins that you can choose. So look at this here, guys. I showed you yesterday ICP, and what did I tell you? You know, so 32% drop. I would not be surprised. I did not move anything on this chart since yesterday, you know, on purpose. When I saw this morning, I was like, bloody hell, this was like to the cent where I set it, yesterday. I was like, I have to show that to you guys. I'm not moving that at all, So look at this, So this is normal. When you go from top to the low, you should have an altcoins a 20-30% drop when you get these flushes, and then okay, the worst is over. So in ICP, I can tell you the worst is over for ICP. The golden ratio most likely is going to hold here, even if we get another run here a little bit lower. Maybe we tap here the top of that buy cluster, but the golden ratio overall is going to hold here on the 4-hourly chart. This will be short-lived. We come back in here, maybe we consolidate, and then you get another leg to the upside. So if you have still money on the sideline for ICP, I would layer that here in that golden ratio, maybe it's slightly below that. And then when you get filled, you know the drill, so from there you go back to the upside. Because if I go here, from here, let's say you get another 10% move to the downside before you get that. So again, guys, if you get a flush like that, don't forget this is again a wick, so it will look like this here. This will be a wick. It will be really quick, really short-lived. If you don't have limit orders here in that area, you're going to get left behind, So, and what's going to happen is this kind of goes down. And when it comes up from the bottom here, the candle will be 5-6% back recovering, so back in profit, So if you would have hit here, the exact moment from where it bounces, the candle body and your trade will be up 6-7% from that wick, from that low point, So it will be really, really, really quickly if you're gonna see something like this a second time, and it will be less violent than that move that we saw yesterday. So now I'm gonna do 1 or 2 coins that I mentioned here in the chat. I'm gonna go from the top. Let's see here. So I covered these ones, not doing this. I can do quick XRP. XRP crashing now again. So let's have a look at this. Is it crashing? So I want to get a nice chart for this. What is this? This is just a link chart. Okay, XRP. Let's see what XRP is doing. If we are really crashing that crazy. No. So, but I have also no TA on this. So here, now I need another XRP chart to show you guys this. So let's go to Bitstamp here to get past history. And then let's get, oh wait, before I switch this. So here, look at this, guys. We went exactly back to this low, so to this secondary high here on XRP from 2021. So that was the high for 2021 in the bull run to almost $2. So that is the support that we bounced off. So if I wanted to trade XRP, that would have been a point where I would have set my limit orders for, so at exact that point at that high, because what happens with Bitcoin every single time when we break the prior all-time high or the past high, we run it back at one point. So this is what just happened. We run it back, most likely not coming back to this. And I would actually start feeling comfortable to open a position here on XRP if I would be you guys, So I would not look here for massive downside in XRP. You have to understand, So XRP moved here already down in one single day, initially 23%. And we ran a total down here, again, 32% roughly from the top, This is enough, guys. This is enough. So this most likely here, yesterday's candle has marked the low for XRP, the next higher low, So look here, higher low, higher low. I don't believe that we are going to break this low. So especially here, look at the stochastic RSI, look at the RSI. So this looks all like that we have potentially bottomed out, so the leverage is out of the market. This looks like maybe another move here to the downside, maybe here close to the $2 level, like $2.04, $2.02 or something like that, so which is a 4% move to the downside currently. Oh, sorry, more. It's an 8% move from current levels, almost 7%. 7% move to the downside. So if you are in this trade with 5x leverage, you can sit this out. You don't need to worry. You don't need to worry at all. So if it runs back to $2, so even if it runs back to $2, you can just sit and chill. So this needs to run to like $1.80 so that you start sweating. So below that, above that, there's no reason to panic. So if I would open a trade right now, but again, even if I would open a trade right now, I would still layer my orders to the downside. So if it comes lower, you get filled. So deploy now 10% back into a trade, and that's what I would do. So if you enter something market now, deploy 10%. That you want to allocate for this trade, not your whole portfolio 10% in that coin. 10% for this specific trade, and you have 90% on the sideline for this specific trade if it goes back lower or starts breaking higher and you want to get in before this is going back into a new all-time high. So now my chat vanished. So here we are back. So then $1.56. So let me show you what $1.56 would mean. So they will not get $1.56. $1.56 would be kind of here. So why would you say $1.56? On the daily chart, there's not even a lot of touch points. So you need to go a little bit lower. So if you already call for $1.50 level, you have to go all the way down here, like to $1.51, $1.52. So there, let me just show you. So I zoom in on this. Look at this. So here you have here the bottom wick of this candle at $1.52, and you have here the top of that candle almost at the same level. And also this, yeah, okay, you can leave it there, $1.52, but not $1.56. So, but look what this would do right now still to XRP from there. This is another 30% drop. This is not going to happen, guys. So we are not going from that top here, an almost 50% move to the downside. It's not happening. So that happened just for perspective, guys. A move like that, when a move like that the last time happened, COVID dump. That was the last time that you saw something like this, where you saw coins pulling back 40, 50%. COVID, so the COVID crash. So there must be a crazy event happening, really an insane black swan event happening, that you see now coins dropping another 30%. So not happening. So Cardano, let's have a look at Cardano quick. So I see already earlier, most of the coins that were actually here, in the green, they're giving back already, so there might be a preparation of that next leg to the downside happening right now. Cardano, so here I have my Cardano chart. Yes, so here with Cardano, still bottoming candle, so also here it looks like that the worst is over. Remember what I told you guys? I told you some coins will recover faster back to the upside than others because they had already some downward pressure and indicators moving to the downside before the drop, So Cardano was one of them. And that's why I can tell you over the next couple of days, not specifically only Cardano, also some other coins, they will look like that they are the fastest recovering coins. That does not mean that they need to pull now every day 10, 20% to go back to the upside. They can do that slowly but gradually, So you need to sometimes also look at the dollar price when coins are coming up, even though they're maybe percentage-wise at a loss in that day. I give you a really easy example for that. So imagine Cardano goes up here now tomorrow 3%, not really on the radar of anybody. If Cardano goes up 3%, but you have a lot of other coins pulling like 5, 10, 15% tomorrow. So Cardano gets lost in the noise, because it only did 3%. So then the day after that, it does another 5%. So okay, now it's somewhere in the middle. Some people pay attention to it, but still, it's still only 5%. Not a lot of people look at it because there's again like maybe 6, 7 coins. They do 8, 10, 12, 15%. So the next day, what happens is, so now what people forget is from here in 2 days, we almost moved 10%. We moved now 8% in 2 days. So what then happens? Cardano puts back 1, 2%. So now it's at a loss. But if you bought today here, you're still in a profit. And then on the 4th day, then you see Cardano moving like 10, 12% to the upside. And then everybody's like, oh shit, why did I not buy here? You know? So, and this will happen to a lot of people because they did not see that during this drop here to the downside, Cardano is one of the coins that has already bottomed here on a stochastic. The RSI is turning around, and most likely by Thursday, we put in a lighter red candle on the MACD, latest by Friday, but then it's too late. You know, Cardano will be already over $1.10 again. So if you want to get into Cardano, right now might be not a bad moment to get into it, but again, be careful, not with too much money, you know, and layer your orders to the downside for the time being, just to make sure if it turns one more time around, that you will not get liquidated and get actually dollar cost averaged down to the downside and can trade this then back past $1.32. So guys, I have to run. I have something else to do. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money tomorrow.